politically appropriate. And this is an example of what we saw when we first arrived in Haiti. I guess the truck stuck in the mud is a good metaphor for trying to do anything complicated, even just transportation in Haiti. This on the upper right here, this is a photo of the border. This is kind of a famous photo of the border between the Dominican Republic and Haiti. One side you see jungle, and the other side you see desert. And that's really evident when you fly over. And in living memory, I talked to some of our stakeholders who are getting on in their years. In living memory, they remember when it was jungle, not desert. Down here in the lower left, this is an example of what it looks like on the ground. While you see some kind of low-lying vegetation, anything that's on a little bit of an incline has almost no soil. That's all rock. And you can see behind my partner Hannah on the hillside, it's just white. That's all rock. There's no soil there. And that's all as a result of the deforestation in Haiti. And the charcoal market. Charcoal is an integral part of daily life in Haiti, and it's really inescapable. So as I said, we went down there somewhat technology agnostic. This is an example of kind of the iterative process here, starting from the upper left, kind of retort design, and then it went through a number of different ideas over 18 months, including All Power Labs Beck, which we brought down there and was useless. Basically our objective was to get something that we could make in country that didn't require the use of electricity to make it, and we didn't have to import it, and it was cheap. So the least amount of materials and the cheapest materials we could find. And this is basically what we ended up with. This is what we use right now. It's a pretty simple T-Lud kiln that probably a lot of people here are familiar with. We have holes in the bottom. Our farmers dig a hole and put it on top, light it from the top using agricultural waste. We don't use any wood because there's hardly any wood left, and certainly we don't want to encourage that. And we've got just simple sheet metal for the lid with some holes cut in, and for a chimney we use wrapped up corrugated roofing with some metal wire to keep it in the cylindrical form. We can produce these and deliver them to the farmer for $25 in country. That's everything included, transportation and labor. And to us, I think we could probably get that down to $20. Might be difficult to get it below that, but that's pretty good. And we went there, like I said, searching for a model, not with a model in mind. And if we had any insight at the beginning, it was that we didn't know how it was going to work for the people we were trying to work with. This community we started in was really, really rural. No roads in, had to hike in, no electricity. There was a stream, little to no irrigation. We're talking lower than $1 a day farmers, no soil inputs, low agricultural yields, difficult to get products to market. So we set up a big challenge for ourselves with the idea that this was the ultimate litmus test for biochar. If we could get it to work in Haiti, in rural Haiti, we could get it to work anywhere. Because we also face a lot of political instability as well as cultural quirks. And so we kind of undertook a human-centered design process, which, if you haven't heard of it, I wholeheartedly encourage you to look it up. There's actually something called the Human-Centered Design Toolkit created by IDEO. And it is a framework for figuring out how to develop models for stakeholders in communities. So we weren't going to tell them how they should use it. We said, this is what we're offering, this is what we can do, let's work together and try to figure out if it's going to work here and how. We were originally solely focused on biochar for the soil, created this technology, brought it in, people saw we were creating charcoal, and we kept hearing again and again and again, can we cook with this? And we were basically, left with charcoal dust. Agricultural waste, carbonized, so it kind of looks like charcoal dust, and it's very, you can crush it quite easily. And so we knew that if we were going to try to cook with it, we would have to turn it into a charcoal briquette. And that involved technology, and we were, and so we kept saying, no, but look at what it can do on this farm. And they said, yeah, that's interesting, but food isn't the most valuable thing we make. Charcoal is. And that was kind of like the aha moment for us, that we really had to take this to heart. So we kind of went back to the drawing table and tried to figure out, is there a way to promote our interest in biochar while trying to address this primary concern of our stakeholders? And that aha moment really led to this insight, which is that charcoal use and agriculture are linked. In Haiti, where you have rampant deforestation and extremely high use of charcoal, we see this all interlinked. So starting from the top, charcoal consumption is the main driver of deforestation, which causes this erosion and soil leaching, low crop yields, basically decreased in agricultural productivity, which results in low incomes and reliance on cooking charcoal. So we kind of see this all as linked, and we were really trying to focus on the soil without focusing on the root cause of why the soil is so bad. And so, in partnership with an organization in Uganda, we kind of took some of their model, a lot of their briquetting technology, and brought some of our know-how of biochar and created a model that we have launched in Haiti. And so everyone kind of here knows what biochar is. Green charcoal is something that maybe people are less familiar with. But in Haiti, these are some of the reasons why it made sense for us to broaden our scope and start thinking about cooking charcoal as well as soil charcoal. 94% of the population uses it on a daily basis, worth, we estimate, at least $700 million a year. Haiti has less than 2% of its tree cover left. So you can see there's a huge supply and demand problem there. And as a result, you're getting a lot of illegal charcoal trade, charcoal smuggling coming over the border with the Dominican Republic. And frankly, some people just don't have fuel anymore. But the cost of fuel is rising, and obviously the stock of trees has almost completely disappeared. And despite the fact that over 9 million Haitians use charcoal on a daily basis, there's no commercial producers because there's really no centralized production, and there's no brands. So we saw a real market opportunity here. This is a photo of a bunch of our briquettes drying in the sun, and this is a photo of our briquettes in a traditional Haitian stove. A note as to why we're pursuing the fuel instead of the cook stove. The cook stove movement has had some trouble, I would say, with adoption around the world. And some stoves are much better technologies than others. But fundamentally, a cleaner cook stove means you have to change the way you cook. And you have to learn how to cook in a different method. And that proves a tough sell to a lot of people at the bottom of the pyramid, especially given the fact that cuisine is so integral into our culture, into anyone's culture. What we see green charcoal as is a direct replacement fuel. So people can buy our charcoal, take it home, and put it in whatever charcoal stove they're currently using. Qualitatively, the feedback is that it burns hotter, it lasts longer, and cleaner. People cough less. And probably the most crucial aspect or selling point is the fact that it's cheaper. So we can produce it and sell it for cheaper than traditional charcoal. So this is our model. It looks complicated. It's got some parts. All we really have is a market. We have to create the supply chain. Obviously, we have to create the product and the distribution system. What we do as an organization now is we go out and we recruit entrepreneurs as well as individual producers. Entrepreneurs largely are, where we're working currently, are small farmers who have homemade kind of Haitian moonshine distilleries on their property. And so what they do is they buy a lot of their neighbors' sugarcane bagasse, or sugarcane, and they make Haitian moonshine out of it, and out back they have a huge mountain of sugarcane bagasse, which is basically used up sugarcane. To get rid of it, currently they just either burn it openly, which is really dirty, or they just let it decompose. It's not used in any kind of productive fashion. And then individual farmers, you know, your average quarter-acre farmer in Haiti. And what we do is we go out, we recruit them, we train them, we equip them with kilns, anywhere from 1 to 15 kilns, depending on how big their operation is, how much biomass they have access to. And they get the kilns on a lease-to-own basis, no money up front. They pay it off little by little. Because our model calls for, the promise we make to them is we're going to return next week and we're going to buy whatever charcoal dust you make. And in that way, it's proving a pretty compelling sell to people who are making $1 to $2 a day in Haiti. They've got this waste stream that now they can monetize. We bring it back to a central production facility that we have in northern Haiti, where we convert roughly 80% of it we convert into green charcoal briquettes, and 20% we convert into biochar. One thing that's not shown on this model graphic here is biochar should be also going out the other side into research. We've got a lot of plots, and actually I've got a slide about that, but we are currently doing research. A lot of this biochar gets fed back to the farmers that we purchase our char from. It's already inoculated, so they can't really resell it to us. The only thing, it's given to them in a way that there's nothing they can do but go home and put it in their soil. And we have an established relationship with these because we're the purchaser. And so they're going back, and that's one way in which we're getting biochar into the soil of a lot of farmers in Haiti, is we give them money for their charcoal dust, and in addition to money, they get a little bit of biochar too. And in that way, we're trying to create eventually a market for biochar in Haiti. But right now, it's basically an in-kind payment. And for our briquettes, we sell directly to bulk purchasers, and we're in the process of setting up a distribution network based on women retailers. Under our brand, which is called Chabondet, which means green charcoal in Creole. And so we're trying to bring really the first identifiable charcoal brand to Haiti. And I can, if you guys have questions, I can talk about that and marketing and whatnot. The supply chain these are a couple snapshots of what the supply chain process looks like. This is an example of one of these mom and pop distilleries, and you can see how much sugarcane waste there is there. And there are thousands of these in Haiti. That being said, we've used bean, corn, rice. There's something else I'm missing there. Types of agricultural waste in these kilns successfully in Haiti. Sugarcane's a particularly good feedstock because we've found that you can have pretty damp, comparatively, you can have pretty damp sugarcane fully carbonized in one of these cheap kilns. Whereas something like corn stover, you have to get it much drier, which is a hurdle. And so obviously it's kind of piled up around these small enterprises. This is an example of one of these entrepreneurs that has 15 kilns. And, we showed up about twice a week. We show up and all 15 are filled with charcoal that much. And so they're happy because they're getting paid. And these are our guys going around picking it up, bringing it back to our production facility here. And at our production facility, we've hired a couple Haitian agronomists we have on staff. formerly unemployed agronomists, so we're really happy that we're able to give educated people good paying jobs. And they're overseeing a lot of different trials, some of them more controlled than others. Some of them are more demonstration, which I would say is kind of like the side-by-side. Other ones, like this one on top, is much more scientific and is really controlling for a lot of different variables. Some of the, I think there's one or two other types of crops that since the last time I was down in Haiti a few weeks ago we planted. But we have an interesting trial that I wanted to highlight with peanuts, trying to see if and how we can use biochar to decrease the incidence of aflatoxin on peanuts, which is the leading reason why peanut farmers in the developing world can't sell their peanuts commercially. And there's someone here who can tell you a lot more about why biochar might help with that. But this is all kind of for research as well as for market creation, this biochar kind of trials and plots that we're doing. And as I said, qualitatively, there's a lot of evidence from our farmers that biochar does amazing things in Haitian soil. Haitian soil is really bad. And so just a little bit of biochar goes a long way. And by a little bit, I'm talking less than 1 ton per acre, untreated. Yeah?
How are you pre-application treating urine?
So urine is how we're doing it at our production site. We've capacitated farmers all over the country just through workshops. Kind of before we had the money to launch this model, we were still just trying to promote biochar. And so we get a lot of feedback over the last 9 months from those people who've been doing it longer than the people who are in our model now. And of course, we tell them when we go to a workshop and leave a kiln, you should mix it with compost or urine. But the reality is, Haitian farmers, the ones we've encountered, generally don't use compost, don't make it, don't have access to it. And urine is a complicated thing. Human waste is a complicated cell. And so what we're doing is, like I said, we're buying all this char, we're kind of cycling back 20% of it, 10 to 20%, and we're inoculating with urine on our site, and they just get it, and we just say it's inoculated. And we're looking into partnerships with EcoSan and human manure organizations in Haiti, but we're not yet convinced that their product is really safe to put. So that's a possibility going forward. Yeah. Yeah, just urine thus far. I mean, we just honestly we've got a toilet on our production facility. We got a dozen people who pee in it a couple times a day.
Just staff contributions.
Currently, just staff in-kind contributions. Yeah.
I'm not clear on how you get that 20% of biochar back into the soil of the farmers, because it sounds like they're bringing you charcoal dust and you're giving it right back to them.
So we actually generally go to them, not unless they're a big producer. We don't go directly to their site, but we do it through existing networks like local markets. People bring their goods and they'll bring some char and we'll show up and buy it from them. And in this way, we're basically buying all their char and we're giving some of it back to them. But what we're giving back to them is is inoculated, and it's wet. It's not just charred dust, and it's in such a way that because it's been charged with urine, they can't kind of dry it out and sell it back to us. This is Bob in Haiti here. This is BTME. This is a small amount of biochar, that this farmer applied, just raw char, untreated. Of course, we would love people to treat it, but it's not up to us how people are going to take this innovation and make it work for them. It's really up to them, and we can try to do everything we can to teach them how it should be done, but we were very surprised to see that again and again and again, farmers making char and putting it in their soil without treating it are seeing really great benefits. And my gut, as someone who's not a soil scientist at all, not a farmer, is that it has to do with the moisture retention. Yeah.
What's the quick summary of your economics of doing this? You're an NGO. You have outside support. You're not breaking even on what you're doing down there, I assume.
Not yet.
But what are the rough numbers here?
So, well, I'll go into funding in a little bit. There's a slide about that. But a note about how we're organized. We started as a nonprofit because we didn't have a market model and we didn't know if we were ever going to have one. Now we feel like we've got a strong market model. We've established a for-profit in Haiti. So we're what you might call a hybrid organization. And long term, it's a low margin product, but you got 9 million people in the country who are going to buy it on a daily, or who need to buy something like it on a daily basis. So really, if we can bring it to market, importer prints right now it's catching on in northern Haiti, where we're based, but importer prints. We really see the limitations to scaling is how quickly we can create the supply chain, this network of char producers. So we do make money off every sack of charcoal briquettes we sell. It's just a matter of scaling up to the point where we can break even. But absolutely, it's been grant funded. We do have revenue now that's just reinvested. But we're trying to bring a new product to market, and so it needs subsidies currently.
What do you use to hold the briquettes together?
We have a local binder, a binding